So this also is done. Now let's come to this topic. Nested try. Okay. Which tournament did we just conclude with last week or this week? And a player who's been working hard for the last 18 years won the tournament. Which was that? Which tournament? IPL, right? So IPL 10 teams were competing. What is the advantage of landing in the top two? What advantage does the team get which land in the top two? Okay, so once the league's group stages are over, what happens is first team rank 1 and rank 2 they play a match that is called as qualifier 1. Called as what? That is called as qualifier 1. Okay, whichever team wins this goes to the final directly. Winner goes to the final. Winner goes to the final. Okay. The loser of this is kept in waiting. Okay. He is not sent home. The loser of this is kept in the waiting. Okay. Next, 3 and 4 also play a match. That is called as eliminator. What is that? What is that called as? That is called as eliminator. They play a match. This is called as eliminator. The loser of the eliminator goes home. Where does the loser go? Loser goes home, and the winner of this eliminator. What happens to the winner of the eliminator? Plays with whom? The winner of this plays with the loser of qualifier one. Loser goes winner. What sort of grammar is this? Loser goes home, and the winner of the eliminator then plays with the loser of qualifier one. That is called as which match? That is called as qualifier two. This match is called as qualifier two. And then the winner of qualifier one and the winner of qualifier two they play the final. And the winner of this final is the champion. Correct? So my question is what advantage it is? Is it that if you land in the top two, what extra cushion or extra privilege do the teams enjoy those who finish up in the top two? They get two attempts at reaching the final. What happens? The teams one and two have how many attempts? Two attempts of reaching the final. So if they lose qualifier one, still there is another qualifier two. But the teams finishing in three and four, how many attempts do they have? Only one attempt, right? If they lose, they have to go out. So now, and what is the term nested in programming? What does the term nested mean in programming? What is nested if? Yeah, one block, another if block. So black if block and red if block. So this is what this is called as Nested. What is nested for? One for loop. So the black for loop is the outer for loop, and inside the black for loop there will be one red for loop, that is the inner for loop, correct? So like this we have nested switch, nested while. Then what is nested try? Any guesses? Any guesses? Come on, guys. Yeah, why are these guys taking so much time to respond? At times, I feel that you all think the question is too silly for me to answer such silly question. I'll only answer question which suits my status. So there is a big silence. So this try and there will be another try. Correct? Yes, no, maybe. So this try will have its own catch and the outer try will also have its catch. Correct? Okay. So my question is, if an exception occurs over here, tell me where is the exception occurring at? In the inner try. In the I will call this as outer try, outer catch, correct? Outer try and outer catch, and this will call as inner try, and this will call as inner catch, correct? Yes, no. So where is the exception occurring? Let's say this star is the exception. So at which location is the exception occurring? In the So where is the exception occurring in the inner try? So it has two attempts of being handled now. First, it will check whether the inner catch is able to handle it. If the inner catch is not able to handle the exception, then it has one more attempt. Check whether the outer catch can handle it. If either of them can be handled it, then program will be executing further and the exception will be caught. Okay, so how many attempts will this exception have of getting handled? First, in the if there is no inner block which can catch it, then second attempt it will check in the outer catch block. If now any place it will be handled, then the program will continue execution. Okay, this is called nested try. So let's try to simulate a environment and let's try to do a demo. Okay, so I'm doing a demo for what? Nested try. So let's name the class as nested nested try demo. Okay, so what to do over here now? Let's say I will take two numbers and store them in an array. I will declare an array of size 2. Okay, this is what I'm trying to do. I will declare an array of size 2. And then I will ask the user to enter the numbers at which index? At index 0. And I will also ask the user to enter number at index 1. 1. So if he enters number at index 10 and number at index 1 as 5, okay, then I will divide the numbers. What will I will do? So first I will ask the user, out of these two numbers, which number do you want your numerator? So he will say, okay, I want index 0 as my numerator. What he will say? So my numerator will be what? 10. And then I will ask which number you want as your denominator. So he will say, I want index 1 as my denominator. So what will be the denominator? And then I will divide them. So what will be the answer? Numerator divided by denominator. And I will display that answer. So in this case, my answer will be 2. My answer will be what in this case? Let's say I'll take a double answer, because chances are that I might get a decimal. So what will be my answer over here? 2.0, correct? Okay, let's do second dry run. I take the two numbers. He enters 10. He enters 5. Then I ask which number you want as the which index do you want as the numerator? He says I want index 1 as my numerator. So what is the numerator now? 5. Then I ask him which number you want as your denominator. He says I want 0 as my denominator. Now what is the denominator? 10. So now if I divide 5 by 10, what will be my answer now? 0.5. Correct? Getting the crust what I'm trying to achieve now? Okay, so let's try to do it. So I need a scanner. Then I need an array of size 2. This is how you declare an array in Java. Okay. So integer. If I do a int a, this is a normal variable. To a normal variable, if I prefix square brackets, it means in the array, correct? And then you have to say new keyword. What type of array it is? So on the RHS, you will give new and type and size. New and type and size. Okay. LHS, you just give the array variable. LHS, you will just give the array variable. Making sense? Okay. So now I have a, and by default, it will store zeros in an array. What will it display? Put in the arrays by default. If you want to display an array, you can say arrays dot toString and give the array name. If you want to display the entire array. So what will be in this array by default? All zeros. So how many zeros? Two zeros. Okay. So it will initialize an array by integer array by zeros. Yes. So now I will ask the user what? What will I ask the user? Enter value for index 0, enter value for index 1, right? So I will ask the user enter value for index 0 and enter value for index 1. Okay, where will I store that in which variable? In the ARR of 0. And where will I store this? In the ARR of 1. Correct? Okay. Now, which exception are chances that might occur over here? If I say enter value for index 0, and he enters apple. Can apple be stored at index 0? So tendency of throwing which exception? Input mismatch. Because I have hard coded the indexes, no? So there will not be any changes over here. So this code has a tendency of throwing. So if I want to, now as it is a unchecked exception, so compiler will not warn me. So I have to do it by myself. So I'll put in the try and I will put a catch saying that if there is an input mismatch exception, you handle it. And what will it handle? Will say please enter valid integer values. Please enter valid integer values only. Okay, makes sense. So if I run this code and he says enter this apple, so my out catch will catch this, correct? Okay. Now once I have the two numbers, so let's say he has entered 10 and 5. What he has entered? 10 and 5. So everything good. Will there be any exception? No. Now I want to choose of these 10 and 5 which is the numerator, which is the denominator, correct? So I will write one more try now. So this is which try? Inner try. So here I will ask, please enter index of the numerator number. Enter index of the number you wish should be the numerator, correct? What is my statement? Enter the, so I will take in the variable numerator index, numerator index. Okay, so what will you enter over there? If you want 10 as the numerator, what will you enter? 0. Yes or no? If he wants 10 as the numerator, what will he enter? And I will say enter the enter index of the number you wish to be the denominator. So I will take this into which variable? No. So if he enters over here 0 and if he enters over here 1, means which is the which number should be the denominator now? Okay. So I will take a variable integer denominator. That was the index, right? Will be what? ARR of first take numerator. So I'll take integer numerator will be what? ARR of numerator index. And what is my denominator? Denominator will be ARR of denominator index, correct? And then I will do the double result will be equal to numerator divided by denominator. And I will sys out the result, correct? Result is plus result. Now, what am I, which exception is the chances might occur over here? Arithmetic exception can occur. So I'll say arithmetic exception E1. If it occurs, how will I handle it? I will say denominator cannot be 0. What will I say? Denominator cannot be 0. Okay. If I ask him to enter the index of the numerator number and he enters 7, is ARR of 7 a valid index? So this also has a tendency of throwing. array index out of bound exception also, right? Equal. Now what will I say? Please enter valid array index. Correct? Yes or no? Okay. Now, if I ask enter index or numerator and he enters apple now, what will this throw? Is there any catch in the inner try catching input mismatch? So it will get one more attempt. Is there any catch in the outer which is catching input mismatch? So this error will be handled over here also. This exception will handle over here. This can also handle this exception. Even though the exception is occurring in the inner try, right? Where is it occurring? But there is no inner catch which is going to catch it. Is there an inner catch which can catch it? No. So it will check once more. Is there any outer catch which can catch it? Can the outer catch it? Okay. I had written this outer catch for this case, right? That if I ask him to enter the value of index instead of 10, if he enters apple, there would be a problem. So I had written this for the outer try. But if the same sort of exception occurs in the inner try, then this outer catch can catch both the exceptions. Okay. Got it? Got the use case? Let's now run it. Let's now run this and check. So, if I say enter value of index 0 and I say apple, will it ask me enter value for index 1? No, because at this point of time, what will occur? Input mismatch. It has occurred in the outer try, will directly go to the outer catch, correct? And what will it say? Got it? Okay. Now if I say 10 and 5, all good. So there was no exception in the outer one, correct? Now in this, it will ask me which from this choose your numerator number. So I will say 0 is my numerator. Any problem? I choose 1 as my denominator. Any problem? It is asking index, okay? Index. So this also, so now which is my numerator over here now? So I entered 0 and 1, right? I entered 0 and 1. So now my numerator over here is 10 and my denominator over here is 5. So what will it do? Divide 10 by 5 will give me 2 and 2 is result is a decimal number. So it will give me 2.0, right? And my output will be correct. So now if I as I hit enter, you will see this. Correct? Okay, let's run for the third time and check now. Okay. 10 and 5. All good? Okay. Now if I enter over here 3, is 3 a valid index? So this line will throw which exception? This line number 23. It is being thrown in the which catch, inner or outer? So it will search in the inner catch. Is there any exception, any catch block which catches this exception? Is there? So what will it say? So if I hit enter now, you see, okay, it has taken that over here. No, see, that error will come over here. Correct. When I will try to store that into the 3, no, here 3 is a valid number. No, exception will come over here. So now if I enter over here even valid number, it will throw an exception. Getting it? Because I am consuming that 3 over here. No, that 3 was not consumed, so it accepted second number also. Getting it? So then we should have put that code over here. Then this would have made more sense. Okay. So if there would be any problem getting it, they will not ask for denominator. Okay. So let's come again. So 10 and 5. Now enter index and numerator. If I enter 3, 3. Now, is error of 3 a valid index? Which exception will occur? And direct, is there any catch to catch it in the inner try? So what will it display? Please enter valid. And it will come out. Okay. Let's come again. I enter 10 and 0. 10 and 5. Okay, 10 and 0. Let's enter 10 and 0. So 10 is a valid number, 0 is a valid number. Okay. I want my index 0 as the numerator and index 1 as the denominator. Now what will happen? What will be a numerator? 10. Denominator will be 0. Now 10 divided by 0 will be what? Null pointer except arithmetic exception. So what will we say? Correct? And now when I run 10 and 5, numerator apple. Now at this line, can I store apple in this numerator index? So we'll throw which exception? Input mismatch. Is there any inner catching input mismatch? So we'll go in the. So we'll check once more. Is there any outer? Okay. So now if I hit apple and I get please enter valid integer value, hence proved. Got it? This was